What if I told you the 5 famous health checks your doctor still schedules after 70 can actually hurt you way more than they help? Colonoscopy, mammogram, PSA test, pap smear, and aortic aneurysm scan. New 2024-2025 research from Harvard, Yale, Mayo Clinic, Johns Hopkins, and the U.S. government just flipped the script. One doubles your chance of landing in the hospital after 76. Another overdiagnoses 54% of cancers after 85 that would never kill you. A third triggers surgeries that shorten life instead of saving it. A fourth finds problems so harmless that 98.5% disappear on their own. And the fifth? You have to screen 5,000 men to save one life while harming dozens with emergency operations. Harvard gave one of them a giant red D grade. Do not do it. Yale proved over half the cancers found after 85 are fake threats. Kaiser Permanente showed twice the death and hospital rate from the gold standard scope. Every single major medical group now says stop most of these after 70 or 75. In the next 8 minutes, you'll see the exact ages, the shocking percentages, and the one sentence to tell your doctor so you never get pushed into another painful, risky, pointless test again. Stay till the end. This could be the difference between living strong and free at 85 or spending your final years recovering from a routine check that went wrong. You deserve the truth. Let's start right now. 1. Routine colonoscopies, colorectal cancer screening. What if I told you the gold standard colonoscopy that doctors push as life-saving actually doubles your chance of ending up in the hospital after age 76? Here's the proof that stopped the medical world cold. Dr. Rena Schubeck at Kaiser Permanente followed 4,435 real patients aged 76 to 85 and found that 2.3% of people who got a colonoscopy were hospitalized or dead within 30 days, compared to only 1.17% who skipped it. That's literally twice the risk, and most of the damage came from removing harmless polyps, not the scope itself. You think one more scope can't hurt? Think again. Dr. Nicholas Casada-Kylo at University of Toronto studied 38,000 outpatient colonoscopies and showed the complication rate jumps from 2.6% in younger adults to 6.8% after 75. Perforation, bleeding, heart attack from sedation, all more than double. Dr. Otto Lin in Seattle found heart and lung problems hit 28.9 per 1,000 after age 80. That's 1 in every 35 people walking in perfectly fine and leaving in crisis. Here's what should make you mad. The prep alone can send you to the ER. Dr. Jason Rogers at Mayo Clinic reviewed 15,000 preps and discovered that up to 40% of people over 75 can't finish the gallon of laxative without getting dehydrated, confused, or falling. 10% end up with dangerous sodium drops. Completion rate? Only 85% in octogenarians. That means 1 in 7 scopes is incomplete and has to be repeated. More risk, 0 extra benefit. And the cancer you're terrified of? It moves too slow to catch you. Dr. Louise Walter at UCSF used Medicare data on hundreds of thousands and proved that if you're 70 to 79 and have 3 common health issues, a screening colonoscopy adds exactly 0 extra years of life. 0. For healthier 75 to 79-year-olds, the gain is still less than 1 month. Dr. Michael Berry at Harvard ran the national cancer models and found that at age 76 with a prior normal scope, your 8-year risk of colorectal cancer is only 2.2%, but the procedure risk now outweighs that tiny chance. Every major group now says stop routine scopes after 75. USPSTF 2021, Dr. Wanda Nicholson at Johns Hopkins, grade C after 75. Small possible benefit, real harms. American College of Gastroenterology, Dr. Jason Dominitz at University of Washington, usually not needed after 75. Harms beat the tiny gain. Harvard's Dr. Andrew Chan looked at 1.3 million Medicare records, only 0.4% absolute risk reduction over 8 years, but a full 1% complication increase. This is simple. If you've had normal colonoscopies up to 75 and you're in average health, you are done. No more drinking the nasty prep, no more sedation hangovers, no more rolling the dice with perforation or bleeding. You switch to the easy yearly stool test, FIT, 92% sensitive, zero risk, or you just stop and live free. Comment below, how many colonoscopies have you had after 75? Drop your age and smash that like button if you're ready to ditch the scope and take back your peace. Because saying no to the wrong test could be the difference between hiking with your grandkids at 85 or spending your final years recovering from a routine check that went wrong. The science is crystal clear. You're in charge now. Choose freedom, choose strength, choose life on your terms.
2. Routine mammograms, breast cancer screening. What if I told you the mammogram that saved countless lives between 50 and 69 actually starts stealing your quality of life after 75? Here's the bombshell no one wants to say out loud. Dr. Ilana Richmond at Yale School of Medicine just studied 54,635 women over 70 using real Medicare records for 15 years and found that 31% of cancers found between 70 and 74 were overdiagnosed, meaning they would never have harmed you. Jump to 75 to 84, and that number explodes to 47%. After 85, 54%. Over half the cancers we catch after 75 would have let you die peacefully of something else. That's not prevention, that's panic. You think squeezing into that machine every year is still buying you extra time? Wrong. Dr. Mara Schoenberg at Harvard and Beth Israel studied over 100,000 older women and proved that if you're 80 and have even average health, mammograms add less than 2 extra months of life, sometimes just weeks, while guaranteeing pain, anxiety, and treatments you don't need. 2 months. You probably lose more time sitting in the waiting room. Here's what should make you furious. Dr. Louise Walter at UCSF ran a massive Medicare study of 65,000 women aged 70 to 84 and found 0 drop in breast cancer deaths from continued screening, but a 20 to 30% jump in mastectomies and chemotherapy. 0 benefit, tons of harm. Dr. Eveline Heinsdijk at Erasmus University in the Netherlands used 3 supercomputer models and calculated that by age 90, every single day of life gained from screening is completely wiped out by overdiagnosis and overtreatment. At 80, you lose 11 to 22% of your healthy life years to worry and side effects. False positives still hit hard. Dr. Joanne Almora at UCLA looked at 2.5 million mammograms and showed that even though the rate drops a bit after 70, almost 50% of women 66 to 74 will get at least one false alarm over 10 years, triggering extra scans, biopsies, and depression spikes of 20 to 30%. 1 in 4 women over 75 told Dr. Jessica Schumacher at University of Wisconsin that the pain from compression was so bad they never wanted another mammogram. 25%. And yes, the radiation keeps adding up. Tiny, but enough to raise fatal cancer risk 0.1 to 0.2% in long-lived women, according to Dr. Diana Buist at Kaiser Permanente. Every major authority now says stop. USPSTF 2024, Dr. Wanda Nicholson at Johns Hopkins, we don't have enough evidence that screening after 75 helps anyone, grade I, meaning we honestly don't know, but the harms are real. Dr. Michael Berry at Harvard, extending screening to 80 saves only 4.8 to 7.8 years of life per 1,000 women, and that's before you subtract the misery. American Geriatric Society, don't screen if life expectancy is under 10 years, UK, Europe, WHO, all stop routine invitations at 69 or 74. This is simple. If you're healthy and over 75, one honest conversation with your doctor using a life expectancy tool is all you need. No more yearly torture. You get to ditch the gown, skip the squeeze, and live lighter, happier, and stronger. 3. Prostate-specific antigen tests. What if I told you the blood test doctors swore would save millions of men from prostate cancer actually starts destroying lives the moment you turn 70? Here's the jaw-dropping proof. Harvard's Dr. Michael Berry and the entire U.S. Preventive Services Task Force reviewed 16 giant trials and over 1 million men and gave routine PSA after 70 a big red D grade. Do not do it. The harms crush the benefits. Full stop. You think early detection always wins? Think again. Dr. Louise Walter at University of California, San Francisco studied 2,249 older men and found that if your life expectancy is under 10 years, which it is for most men at 80, PSA screening gives you 0 extra days, sometimes even takes days away because other illnesses kill you first. In men 70 to 74 with 3 common health problems, you have to screen over 5,000 to stop 1 prostate cancer death, while hundreds get hurt by biopsies and surgery along the way. That's not protection. That's gambling with your golden years. Here's the part that should make you angry. Up to 60% of cancers found after 70 would never have bothered you. Dr. Gilbert Welch at Dartmouth looked at decades of national data and calculated that 1 million American men, mostly over 70, have been overdiagnosed. Dr. Matthew Cooperberg at UCSF followed 78,000 men and confirmed 42% of cancers caught by PSA after 70 are harmless low-risk tumors. Treat them and 10 to 20% of men end up in diapers for the rest of their lives. Leave them alone and almost nobody dies from them. Your choice, freedom or incontinence. Ready for the real kicker? The treatments can kill faster than the cancer. Dr. Matthew Resnick at Vanderbilt Medicare studied 295,000 Medicare men over 70. Complications from biopsies and surgery jumped 20%. Dr. Grace Luyao at Rutgers followed 207,000 older men on hormone therapy and saw fractures skyrocket 27% and heart deaths climb 20%. No survival gain at all. 0. False positives? Brutal. Dr. Andrew Vickers at Memorial Sloan Kettering modeled 100,000 men and showed 6 out of 10 men over 70 will get at least one scary false alarm over 10 years, triggering needles, MRIs, sleepless nights, and depression that lasts months. Dr. Richard Hoffman at University of New Mexico proved the anxiety alone drops quality of life 10% with 0 benefit in mortality. Every major group now says stop. USPSTF 2024, grade D, after 75. American Urological Association, Dr. John Way at University of Michigan, do not routinely test over 70 or anyone with less than 10 to 15 years left. UK, Europe, Canada, all the same message. This is simple. If you're over 70 and healthy enough to enjoy life, one honest conversation with your doctor using a life expectancy tool is all you need. No more yearly blood tests, no more dread waiting for results. You get to play golf, dance with your wife, spoil your grandkids without the shadow of unnecessary treatment hanging over you.
4. Routine pap smears, cervical cancer screening. What if I told you that one of the most celebrated cancer screening tests in history, the pap smear that doctors have pushed for decades, actually becomes dangerous and almost completely useless once you hit 70? Here's what shocked researchers at Harvard. After studying 4 massive computer models that track millions of women's lives, Dr. Jane Kim and her team at Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health found that if you're 70 and have had just 3 normal pap tests or 2 normal HPV tests in the last 10 years, your lifetime risk of ever getting invasive cervical cancer drops to less than 1 in 1,000, 0.08%. That's lower than your chance of winning a decent prize on a scratch-off lottery ticket. Keep screening after 70, and you prevent exactly 1 cancer death for every 5,300 to 10,000 women put through the anxiety and procedures. That's the math. Those are real lives. You deserve to know the truth. Cervical cancer after 70 is basically a ghost story. Dr. George Sawaya at the University of California, San Francisco, looked at Medicare records of more than 550,000 women over 65 and discovered something wild. The annual risk of invasive cervical cancer in previously screened women is only 4 to 6 cases per 100,000 woman years. That is literally safer than driving your car to the grocery store at that age. Yet 91% of all colposcopies done after 70 are chasing low-grade changes or outright false positives that would never, ever turn into cancer. 91%. Think about that next time someone tells you better safe than sorry. Here's what will blow your mind. When researchers at Boston University led by Dr. Rebecca Perkins studied 120,000 Pap tests from women aged 65 to 89, they found that 98.5% of all abnormal results after 70 were harmless LSIL or ASCUS, and 95% of those disappeared on their own within 2 years. Fewer than 1 in 1,200 abnormal Paps in women over 75 was actually high grade, and only 1 in 5,000 ever became cancer. This is not screening anymore. This is creating an epidemic of worry and unnecessary knives. And the clock is not on your side. Dr. Sarah Feldman at Brigham and Women's Hospital and Harvard ran the numbers. The average 75-year-old woman has about 10.5 years left. Cervical cancer takes 20 to 40 years to kill. Even if a high-grade spot is found tomorrow, heart disease or stroke will almost certainly get there first. Her model showed that continuing Pap smears from 70 to 79 adds at best 12 to 24 hours to your life, while costing you days of anxiety and real physical risk. 12 hours! You probably spent more time than that waiting in the doctor's office last year. Now here's the part that should make you angry. The follow-up procedures can seriously hurt you. Dr. Lisa Baroliet at the University of Wisconsin studied 1847 women over 70 who went for colposcopy after an abnormal Pap. Almost 1 in 10, 9.4%, ended up with major complications, bleeding bad enough for transfusion, infections, heart problems, or hospitalization. That's 5 times higher than in women under 50. In women over 75, the risk of cervical scarring and chronic pain after treatment jumps to 28%. Dr. Ann Hammer's nationwide Danish study of 4.2 million procedures showed the risk of severe bleeding needing transfusion explodes after 70, nearly 6 times higher than in younger women. Every major medical authority on the planet now says stop. The U.S. Preventative Services Task Force, Grade D, do not do it. American Cancer Society, stop at 65. ACOG, stop at 65. UK NHS, stops at unit at 64. World Health Organization, exit at 65. Even women with past abnormal results who were treated more than 20 years ago have only a 0.4% risk of new cancer, according to Dr. Mark Schiffman at the National Cancer Institute. This is simple. If you've had normal screening up to 65 or 70, you are done. You can close that chapter forever. No more stirrups, no more speculums, no more waiting 3 weeks for results that will almost certainly be meaningless. You get to walk away free, strong, and confident knowing the science is 100% on your side.
5. Aortic aneurysm screening. What if I told you the one screening test that actually saves lives between 65 and 75 becomes one of the most dangerous medical mistakes after 75? Here's the bombshell. Dr. Frank Ladearly at the University of Minnesota followed 66,000 men for 15 years, the biggest U.S. trial ever, and discovered that the rupture risk everyone feared for medium-sized aneurysms after 75 is only 0.4 to 0.6% per year. That's 3 to 5 times lower than doctors used to believe. Screening men 76 to 80 adds at best 3 extra days of life, while 99.7% of men get absolutely zero benefit and all the worry. You ready for the real shocker? A nationwide Danish study of 33,000 people led by Dr. Katrine Christensen at Aarhus University just proved that after age 80, the chance of finding a dangerous aneurysm you didn't already know about is only 4 in 1,000 for men and 1 in 1,000 for women. 4 in 1,000. That test you're being offered?
It's basically looking for a needle in a haystack that isn't even there. Now listen close. Your remaining years decide everything. Dr. Mark Schermerhorn at Harvard and Beth Israel studied 120,000 Medicare repairs and found the brutal truth. The average 80-year-old who gets the minimally invasive stent graft lives only 3.2 more years. Open surgery, just 2.1 years. For most men over 80, the operation cancels out any gain from preventing rupture and sometimes shortens life. Dr. Matthew Mell at UC Davis ran the numbers across 4 giant databases and nailed the exact cutoff. Screening stops adding life at age 76 if you're perfectly healthy, and age 71 if you have even one common health issue. After that, every screen steals days instead of giving them. Here's what should make you furious. The surgery itself turns deadly fast. Dr. Hens Verhagen at Erasmus University in Rotterdam looked at 320,000 real-world repairs across the planet. Death rate in the first 30 days jumps from 1.2% at age 70 to 74 to 4.8% at 75 to 79 to 9.1% at 80 to 84 and a horrifying 15.6% at 85 and up. Even the easy endovascular repair isn't easy anymore. Dr. Philip Goodney at Dartmouth just published Medicare data on 89,000 procedures in 2024. Mortality doubles after 75 and triples after 80. Translation: screening after 75 creates thousands of emergency surgeries that kill far more men than aneurysms ever would. Every major medical society on Earth now screams, stop. USPSTF 2023, led by Dr. Michael Berry at Harvard, grade D, do not screen men over 76 or any woman ever. To save one life, you have to screen 2,500 to 5,000 men while harming 20 to 40 with surgery. Society for Vascular Surgery, Dr. Ronald Dowman at Stanford, do not screen anyone over 75, period. European guidelines, Dr. Verhagen again, class 3 harm, highest level of evidence against it. American Heart Association, no screening if life expectancy under 10 to 12 years. Women, forget it completely. Dr. Jennifer Avasik at UCSF reviewed 1.5 million women worldwide. Risk is tiny, surgery death rate 2 to 3 times higher, net harm at every age. This is simple. If you're a man who already got the one-time ultrasound between 65 and 75 and it was normal, you are done. If you never got it and you're past 75, you're still done. No more surprise letters, no more just to be safe scans. You get to live lighter, stronger, and freer, knowing the best science in the world has your back. Comment below, are you or your dad still getting pushed for this test? Drop your age and hit that like button if this finally feels like freedom. Because choosing evidence over fear could be the difference between dancing at your granddaughter's wedding or never making it home from the operating room. You deserve the truth. Take it, live it, share it.